the Hawaiian people. Dana Naone Hall, who works with other Hawaiians to save their native land from overdevelopment, explained that the stones are part of a heiau, a sacred site. For Dana, protecting this land is religious work.
Well, the thought of putting a golf course in this area between a sacred site like this heiau and this sand dune that contains thousands of our Hawaiian ancestors doesn't make any kind of sense to me. I mean, it really is sacrilegious.
Can you explain to me why your ancestors and their resting place are important to you?
In the same way that sometimes, people reflect back, my father, you get into a tight situation, and you think about how, your father or your mother might have dealt with a situation. It sometimes helps you to see your way through something that's particularly difficult. So you have the experience of many generations before you in a place to help you to know how to live your own life. We're not living now here separate from anything else that's come before. We're part of a continuum. And it's very important for us because so much that has happened in Hawaii, so much of the culture has been destroyed out of what I would call ignorance.
Yes.
But to willfully destroy something that you have knowledge of is on a completely different order. And to destroy a place that contains 1,000 years of our history, most of which is subsurface, many of the stone features, the stone works, the monumental works of our people are really buried just below the surface of this place. So in a sense, it's a kind of metaphor for Hawaiian culture. And it's like burying a part of yourself. Once you uncover it, then you discover who you are. I mean, all of us have, want to know that we come from a certain place. And, we have to know where we come from. And in knowing where we come from, then we know what's the appropriate way of being in a place.
If you'd been able to fly over here 1,000 years ago, you'd have seen men and women planting taro on terraced slopes for their staple dish, poi. Children learning a hula dance on the beach. Others building fires to cook fresh fish from the fish ponds they'd built along the shoreline. People buried generations of their dead in this land and worshipped nature, which nourished them with its bounty. Now a golf course is planned right here where a heiau stands.
What do you come to a place like this for? What do you get from a place like this that you wouldn't get from a golf course or a tailored resort, a manicured resort?
Well, it's a difference between what's real and what's fake. No one can build something natural, and when you have something of this beauty, it's irreplaceable just by the mere fact of its existence. So the sooner we recognize that, the sooner we're able to make efforts to prevent changes to a place that would be detrimental to all of our lives. And for me, when I come to a place like Waihe'e, especially, sometimes, I've come here sometimes when the moon is almost full so that you can walk along this shoreline and there's enough light and I feel wrapped in the kind of sweetness that I know is really everyone's image of Hawaii.
Well, I feel that too. A breeze will touch your face in a certain way, and it's almost like a personal communication from nature. It's really wonderful.
I should say, Richard, that I think what we've been talking about and describing, this particular kind of gentleness and sweetness, is what's pervaded as the aloha spirit. But it's not something that you can will. And it's not something that you can control.
No.
It's not something that exists no matter what we do to a place. In destroying the place, we are literally destroying the aloha that has made Hawaii so famous.
Yes. The world is changing so fast now, and there's so much chaos and so much environmental destruction, really on a tremendous scale. I know you've worked incredibly hard to save some of the places you love here on the island. Do you really have hope that you'll succeed?
I think everyone despairs, but ultimately, I think what propels me is a feeling of hope. And for me, the hope is in the doing something about the things that we see are wrong or could be destructive to life as we know it, and the life of my family, my own life, the life of generations to come. And whether we win or lose, who knows? But the point is we still have to do something. And for me as a Hawaiian, that doing something goes back to the word aloha. And that aloha is love. And if you love a place, then you'll do something to protect that place.
Discovering what's hidden under Hawaii's deceptive beauty has really set my head spinning. Dana said something I just couldn't get out of my mind. She talked about the difference between destroying something through ignorance and destroying with knowledge. Hawaiians have a saying, when you take from the land, you must give back to the land. Well, it seems to me that I grew up in a culture which has acted consistently as though the earth were ours to own, control, and bend to our will, no matter what hideous scars we might inflict on the land or its people. And what are we giving back in return?